Welcome back to Sketch from Life, Glass of Water. Like I said, we did this painting. A lot of people are telling me the painting looks great, but I didn't really like the glass of water too much. So uh, now we're doing a sketch. I don't know why. We also got a model here, live pear model, photo of pear, and I thought that would make a great watercolor, but I'm just too obsessed with the glass of water. So here we're trying to do a sketch today. I thought we could try a blending stump and see if we can get like a, amazing sketch out of that. We'll see. Not that familiar with blending stump, with how to do it, but let's just dive right in and see what we can do here. Uh, let's try to, I don't know where to begin. I guess let's start with the front edge. Well, you can't see it, right? Okay, well, the front edge, here we go. So, one thing about blending stuff is once you blend something, it seems to render the uh, like it's hard to have a light and a dark in a blending sump. Here we're going over. This is 12B and like a 4B. So let's see what happens there. Just going sparingly, and there's a little line right there. So I'm gonna see here. We can go there. We have created that little line. Also, I got a um, pencil style eraser instead of a pencil lead in there. It's eraser. Let's see if that could. I tried this before. I didn't really think it was doing anything, but there's like a super hairline right there. Let's see if we can get a hairline erase right here. Okay, that's pretty good. I would use like the electric eraser for that, but one thing, the electric eraser is pretty crude. If you get to try to do a hairline, you get a fat line, and uh, then you have to shade again. And then this is a great brush that came with my electric eraser, and a lot of brushes you try to sweep up stuff off the like here's a brush. Let's see if you try to sweep it, it kind of blends. So I mean I guess that's an alternative to a blending stump right there. And well, that looks kind of good. But anyway, it's talking about the this special brush. It helps remove eraser little gummy bears that are made by an eraser. All right, I'm gonna see about that's cute too, but let's see about the smaller blending stump. This one is number 7. Let's see if we can do something cool right here, which is what we'd like to do right here is have this shade, kind of fade into nothing and but not look dumb. So a lot of times the you know a blending stump, you start using it everywhere and it looks pretty well, just changes the whole dynamic of a drawing to this fuzzy, blurry, like right there. I mean, that's not a really good finish, and I don't know how to. We want it to fade into nothing. So maybe, I don't know if that's good. It doesn't really look that great. Another thing that I had a problem with was the highlight right there that's on the bottom of the glass, and we did not get that very good. So let's see if we can erase a highlight right there. Oh, that's coming. That's going away, right? That's nice. Okay. I want to change the way I think about my pencil eraser because this is an effective highlight at the bottom of the glass, which was missing. Hi, Diana. Thank you for the nice hello and all those smile faces. Much appreciated. Hey, 4 people here. Well, welcome, everybody. We're doing the let's see if we could have the glass in there. I mean, you can't really see the artist view of the glass, but anyway, I'm trying to do a highlight right here, and the battery died on that, so I'm using this eraser pencil, which is like look like a pencil, but the end is an eraser. I don't really dare put that in a pencil sharpener. I might ruin my beautiful matte pencil sharpener, but let's see what happens here. It is erasing. I'm getting a highlight, and now use this cute little brush and get rid of the things. Okay, not too bad. Now I want to get a B pencil with a sharp point. There's 4B, and that point looks pretty sharp. Okay, let's see if we can augment our erased line. So let's see about getting a tight line right here, and then the shadow. I don't know if that really is like part of the glass or if it's a highlight. I guess it's like a highlight reflection in shadow. So that looks pretty good. And let's see, we're gonna exaggerate this. It's so right here. And then let's see about cleaning up this edge. You know, the edge, we got that paper under there, but whatever, we're gonna ignore that. See if we can just get a nicer edge there. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit nicer, right? Kind of slightly. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We do want, you know, a highlight here because against the dark, I don't want to say the dark side like Star Wars or something, but against the dark side, you want a highlight. That's why, like right here, we have this shadow here. I did leave a space. Let's see if we can make a bigger space right here. This is a fictional space that it's not really there, but we put it just because having the you know, everybody has looked at HD TV really close, and you see those little white lines that surround everything. That's what makes it look HD in my estimation. Okay, anyway, let's see about messing with this shadow, see what happens. Looks good. Let's see about this one. And then what about in the middle here? So this, I don't know if we should try to depict that. Can you see this, you know, shiny thing, which is a typical, you know, behind the glass kind of reflective shadow. And, you know, it's kind of complex and nondescript, which makes me think we don't really want to have it in there whatsoever. But having said that, let's put it in there. Okay, cool. Let's see there. We might just, you know, say no to the, and then we're coming up on our pear too. The pear seems to be, oh, that's just the shadow of the glass. I was thinking it might be getting rotten. Okay, here we're just gonna go here. And, you know, we have a paper behind, and this is the paper. I don't know if we want to really depict the paper. Let's maybe see about depicting the paper. Because the paper is like, you know, why is there a paper there? And, you know, do we want the paper there? all of that. So I'm going to see about get my 4Bs at it. So this um, thing here, this highlight and shadow, I see it darker here, lighter there. So I want to go a little darker here and here. So let's see if we can go a little darker right here. So presumably with the, and this is a thinner line too, so let's see if we can get a thinner line. I think, well, first of all, I don't know, let's get this straighter. Thinner line, but this is a lighter on this side, so I'm just going to do a thing right here. And then let's see if we can just blend this out so we end up with darker at the left side. Okay, and then to get literal, there's actually three things of shading here. This one comes up slightly. And really, like, I don't know if this is that recognizable. It's not like, the brim of a hat where, a guy's wearing a hat and there's the hat brim and the brain recognizes the brim, so therefore, it could be a little fudged up because, everybody knows what the brim of the hat looks like. This is, a little less intuitive to have this type of a reflection by a glass, even though if you do look at a glass, most times it has a single light source, you will see that that thing. And now this is like a bump right here. I'm going to see about this. See that little tiny bump? I'm going to see if we can remove that little bump. Okay, we removed the bump. Okay. Well, that looks pretty good. I mean, you want to look at just this area. How come I can't zoom in? There it is. If we look at just that area, it does look pretty sharp, right? So I guess we are headed in the right direction here. Let me go back to on the first part of this video, I mean, part one, which we did yesterday, like 40 minutes long, 20 minutes in, I pushed the wrong button and there's no microphone, so that was like embarrassing. I don't know. It's awful. Anyway, let's see what's happening here. Oh, okay, so here, can we still see the glass? No. Here we have a reflective light in shadow. Now that's always an exciting thing to depict. I think maybe I should just remove this pair because we are really going A to Z on this glass. I don't know. I think I'm going to remove the pair out. Okay, so here we got this really cool reflection in shadow. So let's see if we can depict that. Okay. Thanks for visiting, and thank you for that thumbs up. All right, so to get that, we're going to want to, and actually this, now that we moved this, this is really longer than what we made, so let's see if we can just fix that up. Okay, that, and I'm just going to lightly erase that whole thing and sort of, okay, so next, let's just do a, like I said, I don't think people are really going to even recognize what that's supposed to be. I think we're just going to shade, and maybe we leave a light echo of it there. Here we're just trying to shade. Basically, we want to establish the outer edge of the glass with a shade, which is the background, as opposed to drawing a line. So here we're just shading, and let's just, that looks pretty good up there. And then here, I gotta erase just a little bit right here. And then here, there's this little curve. So I'm gonna try to get that curve going. So up here, there is a thing, okay, then it's coming down, here's round, okay. So since we're going to do the blending stump, and I'm just trying to lay down some graphite here, and over here there's also a little echo of the bottom shadow. And here we have the single light source right there to get a different perspective on what's happening in that shadow. Hi, 4 people here. Thank you for visiting. We're doing a real-time sketch of this glass of water, which I can't really show you the actual, the way that I can see it here. It's kind of close to, what I'm seeing, I guess. Um, it's actually, I don't know, well, my head is a little lower, so I'm really looking at it right there. Anyway, we're trying to do this reflective light in shadow. So that would be right here. So in order to get that, we're going to try and get a light shade here. Unlike my initial thing, I don't know if anybody saw my first part of this, we really don't have a good shade that we started with. We like to start with a shade, then erase areas, and it's good if the shade, if you don't see individual pencil lines. So, here I got, oops, there's a nice view of the ceiling. Here I got, this shade looks pretty good. Right in this area, you can't see individual pencil lines, so that's a win. And I'm working on this, I don't know, I think it's called multimedia paper, which is like a ridiculous, dumb paper to be using, but, too late now because I already started and I'm like an hour into the sketch, so, this is not the time to say, oops, wrong paper, right? Okay, anyway. So we're trying to get this in here, this shade, and we're trying to avoid seeing individual pencil lines, and we are succeeding at that. And I guess we're just going to kind of go out to here, and now I'm running into that pear again. Do we want the pear? And I don't know, not really. Okay, how about let's just go a little heavier here. And, technically speaking, you're not really supposed to, push hard on the pencil. You just do, it's a light touch. It's supposed to be just the weight of the pencil. At least that's what I remember in art school. And, if you want darker, you get a softer lead, like the S4B. You have a 12B sitting here. So I'll just do an example of that. Like right here, there's kind of a darker area. So here I'm putting the 12B, holding the pencil very lightly, and let's go in up here, and this whole area is darker. So by using the 12B and holding it lightly, you can see that we got much darker instead of pushing hard with the 4B. Okay, what else? So now we want to do the fun thing, which is reflective light and shadow, which is this thing right here. Here goes. Everybody ready? Wow, this is pretty exciting. And I'm going to start with just right under here. Let's just go right here. Okay, that's it. That's exaggerated, but it's okay. We are doing a depiction. We are not trying to pretend we are a camera, right? Oh, yeah, that doesn't look bad at all, right? And then, there's a slight line here, and then I don't know if that is on the photograph or that would be pretty silly if that was part of the photograph. Okay, that looks stupid. And I'm gonna see if I can, that's really bad. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just try to go light right here. Okay. So now let's try blending it, and so there's this echo right here. Let's see if we can hit the echo, and then, let's just see if we can. And then here's the dark part. There's a lot of videos up where they do, drawing or painting or whatever, and then when they're done, it's like, wow, that's so fantastic, unbelievable how they do it. But I gotta say, this is not going to be one of those videos. This is the video of the person who does draw paint daily, and attempts to do their best, and that's it. So here we go. Thank you for the other thumbs up, and welcome to the 4 people here. Have a question or a comment? Questions or comments are invited. All right, I'm going to try to go here to get this. And this is a really, should be a darker dark. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the, where is the, you know what? This, I want to go here and get a cleaner line right here. Let's see if we can get that. I got the pencil eraser a while ago, and the first time I used it, I tried to do like a hummingbird, and it really wasn't doing anything for me. Today, it seems to be a big help. Seems to be, I try to erase it or get a cleaner line, and kaboom, I got a cleaner line. So what do you know about that? You know what else looks really cool is this little dot here. I'm going to try to put another dot just because it's little dots can, maybe let's try a little dot right here. Little dot can help glass look glassy, that's all. So here, yeah, so that's a fictional dot. There's no highlight right there, but by breaking the hard line that is down there, which is like a dark reflection in that area of the glass, we help to make it look like it's, everything looks like it's in the front of the glass, right? I mean, here in this glass we have, here's the front of the glass, here is the water, this coming up against the front. This is supposed to be the top of the water, all this. And then, this is supposed to be behind the water, the back, back end of the glass. So as far as like, these 3 dimensions, we got, medium close, this would be our closest to the viewer, and then this might be, second close, third close. And then, this is behind, that's behind, and this might be the farthest away from the viewer. So, having this dot here, I would say just because of the contrast, got a hard dark there, then we have this circle that is coming forward because contrast comes forward. Now, what is that? Oh, that's the edge of my paper. It's supposed to be this this line right here. Anyway, back to it. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we were playing around with the shadow. Hi, 5 people here. Thanks very much for visiting. We're trying to do clear glass sketch in pencil from a live clear glass model. We are working on this paper, which I think is called multimedia paper. It's probably a dumb choice to be working on it with, but you know, we already got almost an hour in here, so we are not stopping now. Okay, so anyway, how about this? There's this line here. See, there's these two reflections here. One, two, like blue highlights. Then there's a kind of a muted reflection there, which we already got. But what we're missing is this right here, which is a dark, you know, that is here, and it separates the two things. We got the two things, but we're missing the dark. So I'm going to try to hit that because I think that's a an important area to depict. Okay, so it starts here and it's kind of light. For the light part, I'm going to use 6H. Okay, so here goes the light part, which goes right up to the edge, but we are leaving this line here because that's just going to hopefully help us with depth. It's a poetic license line. So anyway, here we're just going to come in here and do this, and because this is lighter on that end now, I don't know if we should have done that lighter, but oh, here's an HB. Let's see what the HB can do for us. And now we want to just same thing, but we're trying to go darker, and we are getting, you know, closer to the area which is close to the viewer, so having contrast in this area is a good idea because contrast is makes things appear closer. Okay, so that looks good, and then I want to also get a little bit right here. I don't know if that's going to be good. We're going to find out in a minute. And up here, this actually goes all the way to the edge, but kind of, sort of. But let's see if we can get this. This is the, I couldn't say it's actually the bottom of the glass, but it is, you know, this area right here. So I guess that's like the side of the glass, and it has that curve. So anyway, let's see if we can, and it actually is going up, and I got the up part right there, so I'm gonna see about, and then it has left a rectangle reflection. The rectangle is right there. Go here, and this is actually a very light highlight. And now let's see if we can go here. All right, and now I'm going to see, try to erase this little, just, I don't know, this just down here. Let's just see, erase that. Okay. So we're going to erase our gummy bears. Now, no. Now let's take the blending stump and see if this area will be receptive to a blending stump action. Here we go. This right here is one of the biggest highlights. You know, there's a different levels of you know, brightness in the highlight, and this right here is one of the most intense highlights on this whole glass. So that this thing is right there. Let's see if we can't say hello. I'm a bright highlight. Hey, 10 people here. Thanks a lot for coming by. We're trying to do a glass from life sketch. We're using all the tools at our disposal, and right now we're doing the blending stump and trying to do this area right here where I was just saying has the most intense highlights in the whole glass. So how do we say hello, I'm the most intense highlight around? We'll see. Okay, so back to the blending stump, and I'm just going to see if we can. The blending stump, tends to make everything the same tone, so that's why I'm being very careful where I'm doing the blending stump, because if you just go wild and go everywhere with the blending stump, pretty soon it's like, two-tone paper and, blending stump fuzz. So that's just my experience. I'm very inexperienced with the blending stump. I guess there's people out there who, just do magical things with the blending stump. Here we go. So we did, use the blending stump right here, and now that area is looking sharp. So let's see if we can't continue that tradition. Now, I'm gonna see about this line. This is an actual hard line right here. So we definitely don't have a hard line. We kind of missed the boat for the hard line there. And this, I don't know why it's so dark. Oh yeah, because I tried to make a hard line. But anyway, I'm gonna see about, let's see if we could just erase right here. Okay, that's a little, I'm gonna go back to the 6H if I can find it. To fix that, I mean, we erased too much. We got a definite thing here. There's like a, right here is like a triangle here, but it's super faint. But right here we just have a blob that looks like a kidney bean of white. So we're gonna try to get that faint triangle using the 6H. So let's come right here. Oftentimes you do a faint triangle with a 6H and you say, well, that doesn't really help our drawing that much. Then that's a risk we got to take, because drawing from observation, there's not much to do except observe. And no, there's these, let's see, just come down here, and now I'm going to see about just blending that super light. Let's see what happens. Okay, better than it was. Now I'm going to see about getting this lighter with the eraser pencil. See if that works. That's lighter. Now we're going to brush any pencil-led gummy bears off. And it's looking all right, I guess. And down here is another. There's a highlight here, but since there's hardly any, graphite in that area, erasing there is not going to help us achieve a highlight, really. So go back to that 6H. Is this it? Yes. I'm going to just shade this whole center. You see the bottom of the glass there? I'm going to just shade the whole bottom of the glass. That way we have something that we can, sorry, wiggling the camera around. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. Okay, anyway, let's see if we can just shade this in. So I'm just shading very lightly using the 6H. And I'm not really worried about where the 6H is going, because the reason we're doing this shade is so we can erase highlights. So what I'm just trying to do is, like right here, you really can't see individual pencil lines. I'm trying to do that over here too. So up here, I think we could do it. Let's do a little bit right here. And as you can see, we left, pretty much white of the paper, the whole rim of the glass. And, that's a good idea because this really is the area that is most forward. So we need a popping contrast in the front of the glass. Anyway, where was I? I was down here trying to do a light shade in the bottom of the glass so we can pull out highlights with the eraser. This is very tedious. Who thinks that this would be better if I just do a time lapse and a more brief discussion or explanation of what is happening? I don't know. I'm sorry. I think time lapse would have been better, but like what I just did in the last 5 minutes, it take like a second and a half, and boom, we'd already be here. But whatever. Anyway, I'm seeing darker darks up here. Why don't we try and keep the whole drawing coming along evenly? That's an HB, but I want to get serious here, and so I'm going to do the 4B, and I'm just going to try to get a few darks right up here in the top of the rim because that is kind of missing. They're kind of MIA. 6 people here. Thanks for visiting. We are attempting to do a glass of water from life in pencils, and we have a couple other things. We're celebrating a dead battery in the electric eraser, so no electric eraser. Anyway, now we got the 4B. We're just going to try to do a couple of highlights up here. Let's see. The thing about the highlights is, as we put details, what happened to me when I was painting this, that was my last real-time watercolor painting project. The more details you put in, the less I like the rim of the glass. It is not, a good round. The same glass model here as we're sketching today. And, by putting a shadow, deep shadow here, I'm going to try it right there. A deeper shadow. And by doing that, we are definitely, you know, augmenting the shape of the glass rim. So this is where we could run into trouble as far as having a skewed and, incorrect glass rim. I'm going to try to get a better curve right here. That looks good. And let's see down here. So far, so good. This glass here, it was looking really sharp for the first 2-3 hours of the painting, but then the more detail I put in, the more whack it started looking. So we don't want that to happen with our sketch today, that is for sure. There's a little highlight here, so I'm tempted to leave that right there, although it's intuition says, could you smooth that bump out? I don't know. Let me see if we can, and this does not, this should come out down here a little bit more, I think. Let's try that. And do we dare do a little bit more right there? I don't know. Let's go a little heavier right here. Oh, this is here, but it's not. I'll go back to the 6H and try to get a 6H to say hello, we are here. Is that good? No idea. It's a little confusing, that area. So why don't we, there's a little highlight coming here. Let's get that highlight, and also I think we're going to just go back to the 6H, and you see the way you can see all those pencil lines. I'm going to just shade in this shadow and see if we can remove all the individual pencil lines, and maybe that'll work if we just lightly shade the whole thing. Might not work, I don't know. So you come up here. I'm always thinking when if you look at the first video of this glass project, I think it's a time lapse, and it shows uh, scribbling out this background shade. And here I'm just gonna do it here, and we got to erase a little bit right there. I'll just try to lightly erase this. Okay, because that was just too, it was not going away, I should say. So, if you look right here, that looks good. There's no, I think what happened was I started with some B pencil, so that's why the graphite looks different on there. Anyway, that's looking much smoother, right? I guess better to start from the beginning again. So, and I don't know if that's really a great idea to leave this, the white there. I guess that we're going to say that is part of the glass, so we'll leave it there. So here we're trying to shade so you do not see individual pencil lines, because what started as a sketch has now become a serious drawing try, where we're trying to get all serious here. And let's see, let's get rid of this whole thing here. And this is maybe it was like a 4B. I think it says so on the video. If anyone wants to check the video, be my fact checker. Okay, that's a little better. There still is a line right there, but can't have everything. And again, I mentioned that you're supposed to, just use the weight of the pencil. I am pushing a little bit on this, being a bit on the impatient side at this stage. And then see about removing this. You can see that's from a B pencil. Let's see if we can remove that and replace it with the 6H. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We're going to see right now. Working a little bit, not a lot. And that's certainly far enough. This part is pretty boring. I should definitely do this on time lapse, I guess. I guess I'm going to jump into time lapse. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Thanks so much. Sketch the clear glass in pencil with a variety of tools, and I guess here that is the approximate view, but it does not look quite as round to the naked eye, but that's the approximate view. And today we worked on this shadow a little bit. I mean, that reflection in shadow, and I guess coming out all right. I mean, the glass is looking a little bit weird already. I think we could, this looks a little bad. Let's see if we could get that toned down. But, we don't have very good lips anymore. I don't know. But, looking okay. It's for a glass of water. It needs some work. We're definitely going to have to, like this area right here is like that, and as I see it, so this needs a strong dark, and that's right here. I don't know if the paper's going to move if I try to shade right here. Let's see. We had just Oh, that looks nice, right? And this, I'm just going to leave that there as another fictional highlight like that. But, it looks pretty good, kind of. And now over here, this is lighter. There's definitely a line there that is not there, but I mean, we have not created the light line, but right here, there is a light line. See if this can achieve the light line. Okay, we sort of achieved the light line, and it's more of a swoop there. Let me see if I can just get the swoop. Whoops. So this got to come in, be more of a curve. Well, I gotta say the eraser pencil is like really happening today. You get rid of that little bump. When I first got this pencil, it was not going good at all, but now I guess you gotta be patient and gentle when you use a pencil eraser. See if we can really get this out. Okay, and we got the swoop in there, but now how about the shade that's under the swoop? Ready? Is this trying to make this smaller, just going bigger, not smaller. Okay, well anyway, is that blurry? It looks blurry. Well, whatever, this is a very important pencil stroke right here. Very important. Okay, let's see what we got. It comes down, and really, like right here, there's a little teeny. Oh yeah, man! Look at that! Wow. Okay. Now we're making some serious progress. Hey, I got 4 thumbs up. Thanks so much for the 4th. Oh, wow, I didn't know there's all these comments here. Let me read the comments. Successful West, hi to you. Thank you very much for the hello. I don't know why my comments were not scrolling. Aqua Moe, thank you so much for the hello. Azazel Ambrosia, that's a beautiful name, and thank you for the compliment. Do a tutorial on different types of reflectivity in materials. Yeah, well, I got one live stream which studied reflective light and shadow on an apple. So you could check that out in my live stream, although I'm sure that you are long gone by now. Maybe you're not. If you're still here, you could check it out. It's called it was watercolor painting apple, I think, that was just like here you see there's a reflective light, and you can't see it there. Right here you can see right there is a reflective light and shadow, and we did a whole watercolor how to capture that, and but that's oh, I'm glad you're still here. That is precise. Yeah, well, my hands are shaky too, but I don't know. You gotta sort of accommodate, be patient, and it wasn't always like this. My sketching ability. You could look at my old videos at me trying to sketch the a glass, and it's quite a different story on the older videos. But wow, thanks for all those great comments, everybody. Much appreciated. We were just going to go to stop motion because we were trying to get a shade in the background. It just went on and on and on. But it's looking good. We definitely need more contrast right in this area because to me, this area is close, that area is far, but since we have the same, um, you know, tonal values, here and here, that kind of makes it look flat, It's just the shape, yes, suggests that this is closer, but we really need to get, bold right here and, be saying loudly, hello, I am closest to the viewer. Anyway, I'm going to go on time lapse now and, because I want to have a video to upload to my Reddit channel. Okay, and so a big thank you once again. Wow, 50 minutes. Holy cow. I hope we got something done worth 50 minutes. Anyway, real time sketch from life, glass half filled of water.